welcome back. I'm Matt McEwen. Today we're going to have another video podcast, but this one is going to be a little professional development. So after conducting a needs assessment of our school, I decided that this professional development video was necessary for safety and security at our school. So I'm going to talk about a number of different things, so we're just going to kind of jump right into it. So one of the very first things, and actually I should move over just a little bit here because I'd like to show you some pictures of what I'm talking about over here. But yeah, one of the first things that I think our school is going to need are screen protectors. These are very, very simple, little, easy, tiny, cheap, another nice word, device. And what this is it's a piece of plastic that you put over your computer screen. And unless you are staring right at that screen, you can't really see it. Often doctors' offices use this because they don't want to have any information getting out to people that aren't the patient, all that kind of stuff. So I think these would be a wonderful thing for safety and security at our school, because if you had grades up for students, or if you had emails to parents or students or anything like that, or test questions, all that stuff, only the person directly in front of the computer would be able to see it. It cuts down the angle that you're able to see the computer screen. So this is a very cheap and effective way in order to protect all of information. Now, building on this, obviously you don't want your students to see. Another thing you can do is just the positioning of everything in your classroom. So one of the very first things I'd like to just talk about here, besides the screen protectors, is just how you set up your classroom. Make sure that the desks are set up so that the desks are not directly looking at the computer screen of the teacher. So my personal computer desk, I have angled, and the monitor for my keyboard and everything is angled, and the keyboard is angled. So all these are angled with the idea that only myself, sitting completely opposite of the students, would be able to see this. And it's just all about trying to keep your information safe. Now, that's a kind of a physical way of doing that. And this kind of builds on the quick version of it is we don't want students to be kind of following us around, looking at our keyboards and finding all this information out about us, passwords, tests, important information. And screen protectors and just physical setup is one of the best ways to keep this from happening. So that's a quick way of doing it right there. Now, another one that we can do as far as like passwords, don't leave information out that is critical for your computer, like passwords. So if you're taking a Post-it note, for example, and writing your password on it and then sticking that on your monitor, that's not very safe. Really, you should never write down your passwords on a physical piece of paper anywhere around your workstation. So that is a quick one that just don't do that. Now, another one is properly training the staff on how to lock our computers. Now, a very simple one on a Windows PC is to hit the Windows key, and then as you're hitting that, also hit L. And what that does is it instantly locks your computer. Now, all of your information is still there, it has just been locked. So when you come back, you should type in a password. Now, this is a very easy way to make sure that when you leave the room that this information isn't up on your computer and it isn't left unattended. So one of the habits that I like to make is I always hit the Windows and L button as soon as I walk away from my computer. It is always locked to make sure that no one is using it. Now, the password is needed to log back in, which is great. And another thing you can do is you can have a more complicated password. So the more complicated your password is, the harder it is for a student to break it on some of the different areas that I've discussed already. Building on this, when you're using a computer, when you're done using this computer, especially if it is a public use computer, make sure you log out of your computer, but also log out of anything that has your account information on it. So maybe an Amazon account, maybe an email account. If a student has access to your email account, or anyone for that matter, they can easily find out information about you, credit card information, impersonate you, all kinds of things you want to be wary of. So make sure you log out of everything. So that's just kind of a quick way. Moving on, physical devices, flash drives. All right, a lot of teachers, including myself, carry around flash drives. That is a huge liability because if you leave that flash drive plugged into a computer, a student could easily grab that or copy it pretty easily as well. So I recommend that people keep them on lanyards, keep them attached to their keys so they need it and they can't really walk away from it as easily. So that's a quick way to kind of keep those. Now, as kind of we're developing here in the future, we're moving much more towards cloud-based storage. So starting to keep your things on the cloud can also help you with storage. So if you keep it on the cloud, then you don't have the risk of just physically losing it and then someone else finding it. And building on, the whole cloud is make sure that you log out when you're done. So those are just kind of some quick ways for just the needs assessment I've done of our school is we do need to work on our security. So these are some, just a little professional development ideas for you in order to kind of help protect your classroom. There are many more ways that we can work on this, and I will make a future video to help out with this. But this is just kind of some ways right off the top of my head that I can help you out with. And hopefully I've had some good links in here and some pictures to kind of explain what I am talking about. I hope this helps. Once again, I'm Matt McEwen. Thanks for watching my professional development podcast. Have a wonderful day.